Hey everybody, it's Matt from You and Your Horror Movies, and welcome to day 26 of my 31 Days of Horror. Yes, today I'm bringing you a film that was released in theaters overseas in 2018, but it actually got a US release here in 2019. It was put out by Wellgo USA, and the movie we're talking about is Mojin, the Worm Valley. Now, with this story here, you have this village who has a bad curse put on them. I'm not repeating myself. This is my third time doing this video. So they had a bad curse put on them. At a certain age, no matter who you are, what you are, you're dead. You just drop dead and die. So of course they have to try to figure out how to stop this curse. They realize there's a possible cure, but you have to go lengths and lengths to find this possible items that are needed to release this curse. So they get the explorer. His name is, where are you? Hubai. They pretty much enlist him to him and his buddies to get together to go on this journey. Now he's a big treasure hunter, and he's after it. He figures they find this one individual who supposedly have found part of the relics. And of course, he has gone batshit insane, supposedly. Maybe he's not. Well, they're told the story of the Worm Valley. This Worm Valley is this isolated, hidden, pretty much world on its own. It's like this floating island. And of course, it's guarded by weird monsters. And of course, that's where they needed to go. So we got a whole bunch of different people on this trip to pretty much fight and find what they're need for. And hopefully they come back alive. Now, I did not know that this was a sequel to another movie. The other one was called Mojin, The Lost Legend. So I never saw that first movie. So after seeing this one, this was a great standalone. I actually really enjoyed this. Now, I gotta watch the previous one. And supposedly they're putting out a third one because the way this ends requires another movie. So you gotta figure out how that ends. If they get it or not. So I gotta see if the first one continues on with Mojin or not. But not knowing and going off by what I watched, I had a good time with this. Again, I told you I'm a big, huge creature feature fan. This is a great creature feature movie. It's got a lot of action, and the monsters are pretty cool. They have weird ass piranha creatures, giant crab monsters, giant like lizard gator things, weird ass. Some I don't know how to explain those kind of monsters, and of course you have this gigantic big ass snake worm thing. It's pretty cool, very visualistic type film. I had a great time with it. I think this was only in subtitles are in English. Yeah, your main language is Mandarin, but you have to read it. So don't let that disturb you or disgrunch you from picking this up. It's a great film. It's well CGI done, but the CGI is done very well. A lot of your Asian type films with their CGI works pretty well. There's some down the road that don't, and of course some ones that do work well, and this one works well. Again, this is kind of like your Asian Indiana Jones type movie, kind of, but it's mostly he's a treasure hunter going on adventures. Now I got to figure out how the first one goes. If anybody's seen the first one, let me know. And if you watch the first one and then this one, does it continue or not? So I gotta watch that. But again, this is a pretty cool flick. If you're into like Asian type films, Mandarin movies, this is a great up your alley. Again, English subs, you have to read and watch. It can be done. If I remember correctly, there's some special features, but again, on the back of the Blu-ray, it doesn't tell you. I hate when companies do that. So also there it is on the disc. You're like, oh, there's features, but they don't tell you exactly what they are on the back. And I don't remember. I watched this a while back, so can't help you on that one. But I can help you to recommend this movie. If you didn't see the first one and you're curious, go ahead and watch it. I think you have a good time. There are some things again that didn't make sense, but again, if you probably watch the first one, it probably does make sense. I don't know. But Mojin, the Worm Valley, was a lot of fun. Pretty cool monster flick. So I definitely recommend checking this out. It's got a lot of adventure to it. Not very gory at all. I don't think there's any blood at all in it. but the creatures are pretty badass. There's some cool fighting scenes. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out Mojin, the Worm Valley. Out of a possible 10, not knowing the first one was around, I give this one a 7.5 out of 10. It might change my mind down the road when I see the first one. Who knows? Alright guys, please let me know your comments down below, your thoughts on Mojin, the Worm Valley. Did you see the first one and this one and like them both? Did you have not seen any of them? Or what? I'd like to hear your thoughts, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned for more 31 Days of Horror. Later, guys. Peace.